Hello, Randy Rain here, and this video is about mold making and the processes of doing that. Now, there's this guy on YouTube, Robert, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, and I'll leave a link below, and he teaches you how to do mold making, and he's really good, and his techniques are very fascinating, and that's what I want to talk about. But also, he says, you have to have this and this and this and this. And when I watch it, I'm like fascinated because I've been doing this almost 30 years and I've never used any of his techniques that he shows on there. So, for instance, I won't say what movie this is, but if you look at those control panels, okay, those control panels are all built by me, essentially. I made about, I don't remember exactly, but I think there was like 3 or 4 different ones that I made. And we made a mold of those and we cast them in plastic, and then they got put on the set and they were just oriented in different ways and mixed up, and that's why it looks all different. But it's really just like 3 or 4 of them, I don't remember how many, just repeated over and over again. Same goes with the bezels on the monitors. I had to make the bezel. We made a mold of them. There was like 2 or 3, I think 3 different sizes that I had to make. And so we made a mold, cast them, blah blah. They all get put onto the set, which I did, and then they get all wired up and blinky, which I did. Well, anyway, we did all of that with no wax, unless you want to call hot glue wax. But yeah, we didn't do any of these kind of techniques that he's using. But I'm game to learn. So that's kind of what this is about. Let's learn and check it out. But also, I want to say something else, because he has a video where he says you have to have like a vacuum chamber. No, you don't. You don't have to have a vacuum chamber. And he also did a video on like vibrating the silicone to get the bubbles out. And he took his silicone that he uses, vibrates, yeah, and the bubbles don't come out. Well, yeah, not all silicone does that. But you can buy silicone that doesn't need to be degassed or anything. So first of all, you don't have to have a vacuum chamber. There you can just buy the silicone that doesn't need it. Now there's drawbacks, of course, because they might not last as long, might not be as tough, might shrink more, who knows. But there's always give and take. But you can get away without a vacuum chamber. Same way with the pressure pot. You don't really have to have a pressure pot, just like there are silicones that don't need a vacuum chamber. There are plastics that don't need a pressure pot. So you can just use those. Of course, there's give and takes on those too. So there's all kinds of ways. And I would never want to put anybody off on this kind of hobby if they want to play around with this stuff. So please learn. There's way more out there. But anyway, I'm willing to learn his techniques for sure, because I'm totally fascinated. So anyway, he uses these wax pins. So they're for like jewelers, making jewelry. So I found some used ones on eBay, and I fixed them up. Well, at least one of them. We got slot screws here. And there you have it. So it's basically a big giant potentiometer here, big transformer, and switches, and this go into this block of wood here that looks awful burnt in this area. And then it's going into a bunch of thin wires. You can see right here. It's just a whole bunch of thin wires for each side. Looks like 4 wires per side. I'm not sure. I mean, was it done so that this can be flexible? Is it done because most of the electricity runs on the outside of wires and it's better to have a bunch of small stranded wires put together than one big wire? I don't know. I don't like this though. I don't like that at all. Need to fix that. But I need to make a foot. So all of these feet are cracking and about to crumble apart. So I'm going to remake all 4 feet. I'm going to mold 2 of them. You can see that's just turning to powder. But it gets it nice and flat. You can see the old screws that came out of it. Here's the little MDF that I've been using. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and use this thing with it open. I mean, I want to look at this. I want to see if this thing gets hot. I mean, obviously it does. It's burnt there. But just how hot. Because I want to glue these things down. Turn her on. Now, a piece of construction paper with this wax. Just using my Mold Max 30. And now to the vacuum chamber. I am going to change out this block of wood with a piece of plastic. I'm just going to pour some plastic into here. This is the onyx. I think this stuff like burns at like 400 and something degrees, so it should be fine. Oh, there's burning going on. I'm not putting those slot screws back in. I'm going to use my own screws with some washers into this plastic. This transformer's loose. Alright, so there it is. There's all the new electronics. Make sure it's still working. There we go. Oh yeah. Love that smell. Now it's down to this thing. And you know, wrapped in electrical tape. Nothing good is ever under electrical tape. Nothing good is never under electrical tape. Oh God. If you're ever going to wrap something in tape, don't use electrical tape. Don't use duct tape. Use gaff tape. Look up gaff tape. Oh my gosh, there's masking tape under here. Alright, so here's, looks like this pop out. Let's do, oh yeah, look at that. Okay. So I purchased for the other one. Yeah, I guess it's, I guess that's right. That's what I needed. Huh, strange. Let's see how this works. Masking tape. I mean, that's the best solution we could come up with here. Oh my gosh. What am I looking at here? It's metal, but why does it go down here? Nothing's ever good under a pile of masking tape either. What the hell we got going on here? At least the WD-40 is working. That comes off. I can see. Oh, I get you. Alright, you're just going to have to soak. Back to you. Gosh. What the hell? Soak that. Right here. Weird, after I kind of dried it off, now it kind of, some of it was just flaking off. Well, there's one. There's two. let's see. There's a broken piece. This was right here. Like so. I think this one probably stayed on. It was supposed to be kind of permanent. And this guy, you know what? Let's look at the other one before I start doing anything on that. This one, there's like 4 screws. I like this one because it has a little place to put the pin. And as you can see, it's kind of the same thing. We've got a bunch of stranded wires here. And, you know, oddly enough, the inside of this one looks so much better, I guess. Or just as good. Way smaller transformer, though. Way smaller. You can see here how big this one is compared. Alright, I'm not getting any consistent readings off of this potentiometer. And believe it or not, right there on top is where it connects. Because if I pull this up, that disconnects it. So it's riding right there on top. Now I'm 0.5 ohms. I have no idea. It's all over the place. I mean, that can't be right. Alright, enough of that one. It was my least favorite. It has a little dinky transformer in there and didn't get very hot when it did work. So now we're down to this pin, and this is why I bought the replacement for this one, because that's pretty sad. But there's more tape. More tape. Looks like we even have some Scotch tape this time. Well, that's interesting. Does this thing supposed to slide up and down so you take it off? It is. Okay, so that gets put in here. Okay, and then I guess that gets slid up, holds it in place. Okay, I'm going back to this other one. See if I can get it apart. This is a set screw. Let's take this one off. Yes, that's just a piece of acrylic that they used as a spacer. Maybe it should go in here. Okay, that's that one. That. So I'm going to put this. I'll put them all together on this one here. There. Bring this up. And then maybe this piece was just like that. And so you can one. So yeah, I got me a good working pen with a couple of different tips. I got me some of the hard carving wax. I got my sticky wax. I got my beeswax. This guy would be so proud of me. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, I sure would appreciate a like. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Go check out Robert. I mean, he really is good at mold making, and it's pretty fascinating. Anyway, I want to thank these people right here. These are patrons. These are people helping me out, and of course, couldn't do any of this stuff without them. I thank them so very, very much. And they truly amaze me. I mean, it's amazing. The world, that we're here like this. So thank you so much, patrons. I don't know how much more I can say, but I do mean it. Anyway, if you want to become a patron, there are some links. Anyway, thanks for watching. I mean, I've got one good working pen. I don't know why it was all taped up.